The views and opinions of this program presented by the host and guests do not reflect those of Bronc Radio TV nor the university. You're listening to the Political Hour here on Bronc Radio. Welcome to another edition of the Political Hour on Bronc Radio. I'm your host, Omar Jimenez. Today is April the 22nd, 2015, on a very cloudy Wednesday. I'm your host, Omar Jimenez, and thank you so much for joining us on this edition, and happy Earth Day today for everybody out there. There are some Earth Day events going on today, so we'll tell you a little bit more about those. But for the last few weeks or so, we've been continuing our forums here on Bronc Radio with Lunch with the Candidates. And this week, we are continuing with McAllen ISD School Board trustees running for those seats this week. For place four today, we have Tony Forina, who is here with us today.
How are you, Omar?
Good. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Well, my name is Tony Forina. I am lived in McAllen the past 18 years. I'm the corporate sales director for the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. I like to think I'm a recognized voice here at UTPA. I've been the PA announcer for the Bronc basketball team since I was 19, and I'm 42 now. So it's been quite a while that I started as the PA announcer here for the home games. Took about 2 seasons off, I think, but now I'm back. And unfortunately, this year I didn't do as many men's games as I did women's games, but it's still fun to be on campus. And I am a candidate for place 4 of the McAllen School Board.
So what do you think are the biggest issues facing McAllen ISD right now?
You know, obviously the one that stands out first and foremost is this bond issue. It was originally, when it started out discussion, around the $700 million mark. They came and they brought it down to $440 million, and it is finally down to $297 million that they want to have everybody cast a vote for or against on May the 9th. Early voting starts next Monday. They want to have that vote cast to, it all depends on which side you take. Repair, renovate, refurbish the schools. And there are quite a bit of schools that there is a need to repair and to refurbish. But there are more needs to replace than do that. So, you know, it's been the hot topic. Obviously, the issues with the school issues, iPads, that has been something that's come to mind. And just the direction of the teacher morale, let's say. There's quite a few teachers that have been leaving the district, and of course McAllen's loss is everybody else's gain because they're gaining some great teachers.
So when elected, name some of the things that you would push through the board.
Well, if elected, let's go back, I would be one of 7. I'm not coming in with an agenda. I think I need to sit down and we need to look at everything that is in front of us. Should the bond pass, then we need to have proper fiscal guidance of the bond and make sure that, you know, we do things wisely. If the bond doesn't pass, then we need to look at other options and find different ways that we can repair these schools or maybe even replace these schools that are downtrodden and need help.
How will you use your experience and background on the school board?
Well, I bring a business and marketing experience, and I think that using that and common sense would be a big plus for what we're trying to accomplish.
A major issue for the last few years have been the tax increases from many entities such as STC, the city, and of course with the bonds election coming up in May and their bonds. How can you ensure that the homeowners don't feel that they're paying higher taxes?
I don't think there's a way to ensure it. You're going to pay the higher taxes, but obviously by people casting their votes. When the county wanted to do the hospital district, it was shot down. There was a lot of different reasons why it was shot down, but it was shot down. When the STC bond came up to play, Hidalgo County shot it down. Starr County is what saved it. There are different factors that are coming into play, and these different factors are just people getting out and casting their vote, letting their voice be heard. Do you want to be taxed more on what you're paying for your home, or do you not want to be taxed more? Do you want the people in charge to find other manners, other ways to correct the problem.
In the last few days, the school board has been sued because there were some allegations of district funds being used to promote the bond election.
Correct.
And there's also been some more claims coming out that teachers are being pushed to promote it. What are your thoughts about that, and how can you ensure the public trust with the bond election?
Well, that's what spurred my main point to run. I am a very loud person against the bond. And let me clarify, do I understand that the schools need repairs? I do. I understand that bonds are a necessary evil, especially with the way the educational funding is being done nowadays out of Austin and how it's affecting students locally. I understand that bonds are a necessary evil, but is it necessary to have a $300 million bond plus a tax ratification election 6 months down the road that's just going to add another tax? I don't think so. I don't like the way this bond is set up. I do realize that, yes, you do have some schools that are in great need, and the need is there. But I don't think that you need to set aside so much and so forth to repair these schools. Now, in the question of the pending litigation, I'm very familiar with it. I don't think I'm privy to talk about it. When the school district puts out the bond, they have to simply inform. They can't sway you to vote yes. They can't sway you to vote no. They simply need to let you have the facts and make your own decision. By what I've read in the newspaper, I would say that it was leaning towards favoring the bond with that simple little check mark in the O in the bond. I think that gave people the, what do you call it, when you try to convince somebody that this is what you want. I think that that gave that little message there, and that's something that's going to be hashed out in the courts. The judge was told by the district attorney, hey, listen, the district attorney, the MISD district attorney, said, listen, there's no grounds for this, there's no merit because there's no money involved. Well, the people that they're bringing the lawsuit forward don't want money. They just want this to be done fairly. And as of today, I think they're going for the least amount, $500, which could put them in front of the judge at the county level.
All right, we're going to take a pause here on the Political Hour on Bronc Radio with our Lunch with the Candidates segment with Tony Forina, who is running for McAllen ISD School Board for Place 4. Don't go away here on the Political Hour. Welcome back to the Political Hour on Bronc Radio. We are so glad that you're with us here on this Wednesday, and continuing with our segment of Lunch with the Candidates with Tony Forina, who is running for McAllen's ISD School Board for Place 4. And continuing on with our questions, one relates to UTPA. How do you think the school district can support its relationship with the university and with UTRGV when it comes in the fall?
I think the great collaborative efforts that have already been established, I mean, obviously, MISD announced a few weeks ago a collaboration with UT out of Austin. I personally would like to see more collaborations with UTRGV. This is going to be the main school that we're going to encourage our students to attend. Obviously, it's local, it's here, we're not taking them out of their comfort zone, and it's something that I would like to see develop and foster into something bigger and better.
There's been a push for universal pre-K here in Texas, and there's many rules and requirements that are set by the state and the district for people to enroll in. Do you think this is very important, and how about changing the age requirements and the other requirements? Because currently you have to be on Medicaid, you have to be homeless and all that. What are your thoughts on that?
I remember quite vividly trying to get my kids into the pre-K program. Obviously, there comes a point where your kids are tired of being at home, and they need to have the social interaction, they need to have the educational interaction, and pre-K is obviously the first step. But every guideline that you talked about, having to be on Medicare, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it affects everybody. Pre-K should be open to all, so that if you want to send your child to school at 3, at 4, and you want to give them that opportunity, it should be done. There was several years where we had to send our kids to a different day school just so that we could get them, ready for school. And it was cost worthy. You do get it back if you do your taxes properly. You get that money back, and it's something that is worthwhile for all the kids. But if it's available through the school district, I'd love to see all those kids take advantage of it.
All right. Well, we are going to wind down to our final question.
Final question already?
Yes.
Let me sit up for this one. Hang on.
All right. State your case. Why people should vote for you.
Well, there are many reasons why people can vote for me. I have 4 kids within the district. I have one at the elementary level, I have one at the middle school, I have 2 at the high school level. I've always had a passion to give back to my community. This is the opportunity that presented itself. I've served time on committees. I've helped, figure out which principals should be at which schools. And when something goes wrong, they often lean on the parents and they say, hey, listen, we'd like to have your support. We'd like to have your input. Here's where I'm going to give my input. Here's where I'm going to give my support. This is an endeavor that I didn't intend for it to be like this. My entire campaign started one Sunday night vocalizing opinions on this bond on Facebook. And so many people saw it, and I got so many responses for the bond and against the bond that it was something that spurred a lot of supporters to come out and say, listen, we agree with your point of view, we agree with your thoughts, and we think that you'd make an excellent school board member. Obviously, as you learn, as you go along, you realize that sometimes, hey, this is not right for our district, or this is something that's very right for our district, and you just need to be able to figure out which is which. But I'm asking everybody to please exercise your right to vote. Early voting starts on Monday, April 27th, and it runs through May 5th, which happens to be my birthday. So if you want to give me the best birthday present, a vote would be fantastic. If you can't make it out to early voting on those days, Saturday, May 9th, we're all going to be coming at you. We're all going to be saying why we're the right person. If the decision is yours to be made. I think because of how involved I am in the community, because of how involved I am with the school district already, I visit 3 campuses on a daily basis. When I pick up and drop off my children, I talk to a lot of the teachers. I talk to a lot of the administrators. I've got a good feeling about what's going on throughout the district. I think I deserve an opportunity, and I hope that I've earned your vote for McAllen School Board Place 4.
Thank you very much, Mr. Forina, for coming out, candidate running for McAllen ISD School Board for Place 4 on May 9th. Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you, Omar. I appreciate the time. And thanks to Mr. Mann and the Bronx Radio and TV program here. This has been great.
Thank you. We have more here on the Political Hour, but don't forget that this Monday, April the 27th, early voting starts and the elections are May the 9th. And we'll get more information on that to you later on in the show. We'll be back here on the Political Hour on Bronx Radio. Welcome back to the Political Hour on Bronx Radio. We are so glad that you're with us here on this Earth Day, April the 22nd. And just a reminder that on Monday, early voting starts for many of our entities here in Edinburgh, as we have a city council race going on. Starting on Monday, McAllen ISD will be holding elections for their school board and as well for the bond package. And District 1, the runoff between Richard Cortez and Debbie Crane Aliseda will be going on for the May 9th election. And Districts 5 and 6 will be holding their general elections on May 9th. And a reminder that today there is a forum held by Fortudo McAllen that will be having the candidates running in the runoff for District 1 at 6 o'clock. So from 6 to 8, go ahead and head on to the McAllen Public Library auditorium. That will be where the event will be held. The pros and cons of the McAllen ISD's bond election will be there, and all the candidates running for the school board for McAllen will be there as well to state their cases on why you should vote for them. So today from 6 to 8, head on over to the McAllen Public Library for the forum with all the local candidates running for McAllen in District 1 with the runoff, McAllen ISD bond, and for the McAllen ISD school board race coming up on May the 9th. So don't miss out. But right now here at the studio, we have a representative here from the K Club here on campus to talk about the Texas World Champion and a competition. A competition going on. Whoops! Well, the Snapchat is going on. Talking about they're hosting a a a competition. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, but introduce yourself real quick here.
Hi, my name is Evi Totil, and I am an alumni slash student from HNK Club, and also one of the current hosts, getting ready to host the first pro stop here in Edinburgh, Texas, or in Rio Grande Valley for racquetball.
All right, and tell us how this competition and tournament came all together. How did y'all start setting that up?
It's usually one of those tournaments. It takes about a year in preparation, and this one came up on our desk maybe about 6 weeks ago, and within 6 weeks we are trying our best to make it a big tournament. Just to let you know, the top 8 pros from the world for racquetball is going to be coming down, so it's a big event. Just to show the magnitude of the event, it's one step away from the Grand Slam, which is the U.S. Open, and that happens every year in Minnesota. So this is a big thing that's happening in Rio Grande Valley, and to make it happen for the first time, I'm really excited, and we have a good team that's been working on the HNK Club, and also a couple of local athletes who plays racquetball. So we're all stepping in and trying to make this successful.
And tell us, what are we going to expect when we head to this tournament?
Well, we're going to be seeing one of the best fastest sport out there in the court, inside the court. Again, from among the top 8 pros. And also, we're going to be having some Mexican from the Mexican national team professional players coming down to play for this tournament too. So we're expecting about 200 people to come for the event, and we have confirmed about 70 people so far. So we still have time. A few people to sign up. People from the nation, around the nation, are going to be coming down. So I'm pretty excited. Top 8 cannot. Mr. Kane himself is a 9-time world champion, a 10-time U.S. Open racquetball champion, and also he's the owner for the crowning moment that's going to be coming down. That's happening. So.
And for those who are not familiar with racquetball, just real quick, just explain how it's played.
Racquetball, it is played. Matches consist of three games. Either you do best out of 5, best out of 3, with each games going to 15, and the tiebreaker going to 11, if it goes to tiebreaker. It's a fast, intense sport. If you go, really intense, you have to have good endurance, good agility, speed work, footwork, mechanics, everything in order to play the sport. And yeah.
So, how long is the tournament, and what's the schedule like so far?
The schedule is going to be happening. It's from April the 30th, which is a Thursday, to May 3rd. Thursday is when the official pro stop starts. Thursday is going to be initial. The tournament starts, and Friday continuing with the pro professionals playing, and then Saturday is when the professionals play their semi-final and final matches. Also, the amateurs going to be playing all day Saturday. So all the local amateurs, including myself, and from around the Texas and around the nation, are going to be competing all day Saturday. And on Sunday, it's going to be a doubles event where all double tournaments are going to be taking place, where you play 2-on-2. Two players in the court. They're going to be playing all day Sunday. So all the professional game will be done by Saturday night by 7 p.m. And it's going to be televised, and the International Racquetball Tour is going to be coming down. So it's going to be a televised event.
Where will the tournament take place?
It'll be taking place at the Rec Center, the Wellness and Recreational Sports Complex. They have a really great facility, and we're going to be using court 1. That's where it's going to be taking place, and all the camera lights and action and everything is going to be taking place. So
perfect.
Yeah.
There was also spectators. Is it also open to any spectators that like to come out to watch?
It is open to the public. There is a few seating arrangements that we're setting up for the main sponsors that are coming down. So they'll be having mandatory floor seats, and we'll be having standing view for the public on the top of the track by the courts, and also around the area by the courts. So mainly, so to answer your question, yes, there will be viewing. It is open to the public, so come check it out and see what racquetball is all about.
All right, and for more information, how can people contact you,
You can
and especially to sign up for?
To sign up, you could either contact me. My name is Ebi, and my number is 956-393-9951. Or you could also contact one of the directors, Joanna Reyes, at 361-510-1040. The deadline is coming up. It's this Friday. And after this Friday, there's going to be an extra $10 fee. For UTP students and UTB students, there's going to be a student discount. So in order to get the discount, you have to call the number, either me or Joanna, and you can get the discount to play in the tournament.
Okay, all right. Well, looks like it's a very interesting match that will be happening coming up next week over at the RAC.
Definitely.
Thank you, Abby, for coming on the show today and talking about more about this tournament coming up on April the 30th to May the 3rd. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for having me here.
We'll have more on the Political Hour on Bronc Radio, so don't go away. Welcome back to the Political Hour on Bronc Radio. We are so glad that you're with us here on this Earth Day, April the 22nd, 2015. And we have a lot of elections going on this week, so just a reminder that early voting does start this Monday, April the 27th, and it will last all the way until May the 5th, 2015. Excuse me. It will last till May the 5th, and the election will be on May the 9th. McAllen ISD will be having their election, and we'll be having some candidates on next week's show. McAllen ISD will be holding elections for place 1, 2, 4, and 5. The city of McAllen will be holding commissioner elections for districts 5 and 6. And they will also be holding the runoff for District 1 with Debbie Crane Aliceda and Richard Cortez. Edinburgh will be having an election for City Council for Place 4 with Elias Longoria Jr. running as the incumbent, and David Torres is running as well. And many other entities will be having their elections this next week. So please be sure to go out and vote. Now, we've had debates with some of these candidates on the air, so you can go to my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Omar Jimenez BRTV, and we will be posting all of our debates and forums that we've had on the air, so that way you can go back to listen and to see who is the right candidate for you. Also on Friday, please don't forget to listen to us on Friday, as on Friday we'll be having a special edition of the Political Hour on Bronc Radio. That will be coming up at 10 o'clock on Friday morning from 10 to 11. We'll be having some guests coming in. So we have another candidate coming in, Maria Cruz de Abbott will be coming on the show. And also we'll be having Tovio Science coming in to talk about an internship for college students, and some more guests will be in the process of being booked and lined up for you. But please don't forget that on Friday at 10 o'clock we'll be having a special edition of the Political Hour on Bronc Radio. So just come on in and stay tuned. And also tomorrow we have the TV news broadcast at 12:45. So tomorrow, come back on to this website. We'll be switching it over to TV, and we'll be having our live newscasts with the latest news for UTRGV and UTPA. So you don't want to miss out. We have a great lineup planned for you. Now we're going to go back a little bit to our Texas legislator update, and open carry has passed officially in the Texas House, as a matter of fact, but a lot of controversy has developed. So open carry is now official in the state of Texas. So on Tuesday, they have passed this measure, and House Bill 1190 has passed officially, and of course this has been a very controversial issue, but I think a lot of people have decided that, okay, this is the time, and it's now ready to go. And now, of course, controversy has happened with Chief Almacedo, the police chief from the city of Austin, and he went on Twitter and he titled his tweet, "Open Season for Armed Criminals and Extremists." That's what he posted on Twitter, quoting that yesterday's amendment, which was on this week, to Texas open carry legislation is beyond belief and advocate to open season for gang members, drug cartels, outlaw motorcycle gangs, and any other criminal or extremists to define the law with impunity. Just brilliant. If criminals, drug cartels, and extremists had a seat at the policy writing table, they couldn't have come up with a better amendment. So, this is a very, very, very interesting tweet coming out. He goes on to say, "Here is a scenario. Next time groups face off in our capital city at the Capitol, con with their hoods on, Panthers with their face covered, ISIS sympathizers with their face covered, and just about any other extremist group armed with firearms authorized by open carry. Why bother? Common sense has officially died, and writing any further would be fruitless." And that was upsetting the police chief of Austin, as open carry is now official. And of course, this would prohibit anybody to check for the concealed handgun licenses as well. That would also prevent any police or any public officials to even ask if they have a gun license or not. So this is now official, and I think now I guess it's a wait and see to see what will happen with open carry and see how that is laid out when the governor signs it. The governor does need to sign this first, and then it will become official. So it passed 2 tests, and now the one final test, which indeed will happen as Governor Abbott will sign this into law, and open carry is now legal in the state of Texas. We have more on the Political Hour on Bronc Radio. Don't go away. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Political Hour. This wraps up this edition of Wednesday, April the 22nd on Earth Day. And please don't forget to go out and vote. You can like my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/OmarJimenezBRTV, and from there I will give you the information on early voting sites, times, and dates. As again, Edinburgh, McAllen, FAR, and other entities in our area will be having elections May the 9th. So early voting will begin on April the 27th. And also, there are links there to all the past editions of the Political Hour, so you can look at any edition that you haven't seen to figure out which candidate you should vote for this election. And don't forget that today from 6 to 8, if you are a citizen of McAllen and a citizen of District 1 in the northeast side of town, that the runoff forum will be going on at 6 o'clock. And then the pro and the con of the McAllen representative, McAllen ISD School Board bond will be there, and candidates for McAllen's ISD School Board will be there as well to talk about their stances and why you should vote for them. So that's going on from 6 to 8 tomorrow, hosted by Fortuna McAllen at the McAllen Public Library at the main branch. So don't miss that. Until then, we'll be back on Friday for a special edition of the Political Hour starting at 10 a.m. So you don't want to miss that. We got a great show lined up for you. But until then, we'll be back on Friday. Up next, we have the latest in movies on the Bronc Radio. So you don't want to miss that. Until then, have a great rest of the day.